This recording is a brief synopsis of the workshop that myself, Charlie Johnson, Dan Stillman, Nikal Leah, and Kathleen Murphy put together for the Maine Arts Assessment Mega Conference in Ellsworth on March 29th. It was called Packing Standards with a Purpose, and Dan led off the workshop by describing some of the difficulties that we've had at MDI on creating an assessment tool that works well with what we have existing in place for a grade book and that sort of thing. Some of the descriptions that he gave us were specific to the PowerTeacher gradebook that we use, and the fact that in some cases we were in competition with other disciplines such as English for naming our particular standards, assignments, and that sort of thing, and what the grading scale and such would actually look like. As we worked through that, we began to think about how we're going to assess with learners, and one of the things that we had come up with initially was a very, very thorough and detailed description of the various aspects of our standards as they fell into what student work looked like, from portfolio to reflections on it, such as critical analysis, the creative process, describing process, and then finally at the bottom row, technology and digital media, how we use that. But it still seemed kind of daunting to students, especially any students that procrastinated, and even though they saw this kind of document, when it came time to actually put the work together as a final portfolio, it became a little daunting to some of them. So the students that we brought to the workshop actually did a description of how they provide evidence of learning through digital media and the different kinds of media that they use, such as blogs and that sort of thing. Then we looked at packing the standards, actually making the standards simpler, breaking them down into simple terms that students could then draw from as far as how they were going to express their understanding of what they'd learned in terms of that standard, how they would provide evidence of learning, and we give them a variety of ways. Then we further took this document a little bit further, and from the name area that we actually, in the third column that you see here, that we actually use in our recording gradebook system at the school, we went further and aligned those to the descriptions that are the actual descriptions that are in the PEIs that are state mandated. And from there, we generalized. We took the standards that kind of were connected a little bit to one another and looked at language on that first column on the left that kind of describes that. So we're kind of helping students to look at the basic language and then look at how they fit together. And then finally, the last thing we've done in the last few months is put together proficiency language that is kind of what we expect of students. Of course, embedded in these are habits of mind and a number of other things that are part of it. But technology has been really helpful for us in putting this together. And presently, as we move to Google Plus as our communications tool, it's amazing some of the things that students are able to do and willing to do to communicate with one another. And a lot of it's asynchronous, and it really happens outside of the classroom. Homework isn't so much a specific assignment sort of thing as it is what students do and are interested in doing outside of the class to promote one another and to collaborate with one another on their work. Give technology a hug. You may be surprised at what you get in return. Thank you very much.